Why don't you do a sunken trampoline, she said. It would make a great YouTube series, she said. I need to do the retaining section first, so then I can use up some of this soil. This is just in the way over there. For now, budget wise, I've got some damp proof course, the widest you can get, which is 300mm, which is the height we need. Now this isn't very strong on its own, but I reckon with a load of posts along it, it should be fine. It'll hold back any soil, and it means we can backfill to the perfect circumference of the circle of the frame. So we need to get the trampoline in, I think. Drive in a load of stakes, then we'll slot this down the outside. There's 30 meters here. I probably need 10. What are we? Probably just over 3 meters across times pi. What's that? 3.1. So it's probably 9 point something. So we can go 3 times around with this if it helps. But otherwise, once around with some decent stakes. A little bit on the trampoline. It's just a standard height trampoline, but when I was looking at it, I could see in the photos that the pieces, or the leg section, the U section, comes in 3 pieces, and the male and female end of this were matching. So I could basically take out the center section of this, which reduced the trampoline from its full height down to about 300mm, which is essentially the same as the in-ground ones. Before anyone else decides to share their concerns about the dog's welfare, Charlie is 13 years old and he's chased tennis balls for a living his whole life. It's a boiling hot week, and the last thing I wanted to do is make him suffer from exhaustion, so that's why I limited the amount of times I threw the ball. And yes, I did receive emails and comments regarding his welfare, so rest assured he's a happy chap. Just measuring to the bamboo. Just try and keep it square to the 395 is what I'm going for.
392.
Oh, much better. Just got to watch out for any knots, but we should be fine there. So last night you saw me stick in this edging, and that's just in cladding. It bends just about enough, so we've got quite a nice sort of sweeping bend there. And then at the end there I just straightened it off. Now of course, remember we're restricted by 4 metre width of the turf, the synthetic turf, so that's why it kind of goes straight up there. I need to stick a little wall at the bottom of that hedge just to neaten things off, and then in the corner, if you can see this dead tree stump, if I take this dead one out, it's going to leave a little bit of a space in there, so I might carry on the turf. I might have to put a little bit of a join, so all of that needs to be flattened out and compacted. This little retaining wall has worked out pretty well. It's definitely a good short-term solution if you just need to bank up a load of things whilst you construct a wall or something like that. This plastic's very, very thick and heavy duty, especially because we've doubled it up. That said, because I've only put them every, I don't know, half a metre or so, it bulges in between. That won't affect us with our trampoline frame because it has no bottom ring on it, it's just kind of legs. Still need to top the rest of this up because I want it nice and flush with the top of the trampoline, and in order to do that I want to use a plate compactor, a whacker plate, and I just think it's going to bulge this in even more. So I need to actually before I can do that, I think I'm going to need to put the frame in, and that circular pipe frame will hold everything out and give it the strength, but it means it'll probably wedge it in, so we can't lift it out easily. We better check we're deep enough. We want to aim for, what did I say, 750 deep, plus we want to add a little bit of gravel maybe in the bottom, so if we call it 800, we should be good. Oh, we're down into clay now, proper clay, so glad we don't need to go much deeper. But looking at that, what I think I'll probably end up doing is just popping a little pipe down, hidden in here, and then if we ever need to, I can just bung some dirty water pump and just suck it out. Right, I'm going to put the first load of fabric down. This has just been lying around in the shed for a couple of years. It's just the cheap basic stuff. But as it's underneath, I'm not too worried about that. I've got some heavy duty professional grade geotextile to go around the actual top where the turf is going to sit. I should have just put this in and built the retaining wall at the same time. Done. That was far from easy. Stupid really, because I knew it was going to happen. There's no way I could have held back all that with these little stakes. Anyway, it's in now, but now I'm thinking, oh, I've got our posts on the outside of the metal ring, and the matting that covers the springs of the trampoline needs to tuck down the outside of the metal, and also the grass needs to come up flush to it. So after all that, I think what I'm going to do is knock the posts down below the rim of the frame. Oh boy. Right, quick update, now I've knocked down those pegs. They're below the metal beam, but of course I want this to stay up, so I've gone around with endless amounts of cable ties and put a tiny slit and cable tied it. Now I'm happy that there's a little bit more movement, everything's circular. I'm going to go around and tighten all these up. So while this has been compacted pretty well now and there's a little bit of tweaking to do still, it would have been obviously better to do a type 1 base and then like a sharp sand, then screed it all off and compact that. That would have just kept everything level. We've got a bit of contour here, but that's just the lie of the land. I think what I'm going to have to do is get the trampoline stretched and put in soon, and then just scrape away a bit of this. We're just going to have to accept that that cover's going to have to tuck down in there somehow, and then we'll finish the fabric and grass up to that. I'm not sure what it is about this project, but it is just grinding me down. It's probably the sheer amount of digging, but anyway, we're getting there. The majority of the groundwork is now done. What I do need to do is just keep flushing up everything to the edge, and then I'll go around tomorrow morning first thing with that plate compactor again and get it all exactly how I want it, the levels, before I start laying all the fabric and the grass down. All of that should be here tomorrow morning. So I'm going to leave this here. I've got a little bit of lawn edge, like the timber edging to finish off, but nothing too exciting, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.